Good afternoon, sir.
Good
And
afternoon.
I welcome you all for this 3 days webinar, Rail and Metro Infrastructure 2021. And now the topic for the discussion is resilience of operation system across metro and railway networks. Sir, you can start with your presentation.
Sure. Thank you, Himani, and thank you to all the organizers for giving this opportunity to talk about this particular topic. So I will give a small introduction about me. My name is Ashish Upadhyay. You can see that. So I'm currently representing Silas Cybersecurity Limited as a country director in India. Okay. Let's start talking about the railway cybersecurity today. Okay, and we will go over the operational side as per the topic. So the today's topic is resilience of operations system across metro and railway networks. Today we will talk about railway cybersecurity in high level on the operational side. Okay, so as what is happening in railway industry. Okay, if we talk about mainline, freight, urban, so operators are investing more on the technology side. Okay, which is like, we wanted to drive train faster. So we need to have more number of passengers on board. We wanted to reduce the headway. We are adding more number of kilometers of track each and every day. And if we are using predictive maintenance technology, the asset management, IoT devices and all. So what is happening here is it's creating a convergence of IT, which is the information technology, and OT, which is the operational technology. So the IT and OT systems are getting merged or overlapped. So the systems are no longer isolated. Okay, if we are talking about the new, I was just hearing that Indian Railways has recently introduced LTE, communications for the new projects that would be coming on board. So we are using more wireless communication, train communications on board. So CBTC is the communication based train control system, ETCS level 2, which will be deployed in NCRTC projects, GSMR network, LT. We are going towards train control communication system. And definitely, what is happening here, whenever a new project is being deployed, it will be in operations for more than 30 years. So that is the lifetime of the project. So we have to be little bit resilient. The systems has to be resilient, and cyber threats are basically more dynamic, because whenever we talk about these new systems, all the protocols, data sheets, tender documents are largely available over the internet. And if we talk about systems, the OEMs, which are like Alstom, Siemens, Hitachi, okay, Nippon, so these railway OEMs are, systems are designed to be safe, because it is regulated through CINELEC or different standards that we use, but they are not designed to be secure. So a safety integrity level 4 system can have zero security level. So this is what we need to see. And since we are moving towards digitalization and connected systems, so definitely there is a growing threat if we talk about on the operational network. And we have seen that there are different cyber attack scenarios. If we talk about ransomwares, that could spread through internet, emails targeting the displays, email ticketing systems and all. Denial of services, so that is a very important kind of an attack, and it's happening everywhere. And because of our good neighbors, geopolitical attacks are pretty much happening. And we have seen that in because we are working in Indian ecosystem as well. And definitely, since all those communications are unencrypted, we talked about the LTE network, or we are talking about the GSMR and all, those are unencrypted communication channels. And because of that, it is creating more attack vectors to this thing. And if we talk about the OT attacks happening over the railways, so it started way back in 2003. CSX Corporation USA was basically impacted. I'm only talking about the like OT kind of a scenario, like the complete control system got compromised here. If we talk about Poland, okay, again, railway switches were here compromised, and it created a derailment way back in 2007. There were SFO, San Francisco ransomware, a kind of an attack happened in 2017, and it created a very huge revenue loss for this particular customer. If we talk about Deutsche Bahn, a German customer, again a ransomware attack, and they actually compromised the passenger information display system, and it created a series of consequences on them. If we talk about Sweden, so denial of services, there's a major attack which happened in 2017. If we talk about DSB, Danish railway company, so again denial of services kind of an attack. Montreal in 2020, this is a very new attack. It is again a ransomware attack, and it created an impact of a loss of $2 million US to just recover from this particular attack. If we talk about a new attack which happened in 2020, was in Vancouver, Canada, again a ransomware attack. So we have seen a trend that these kind of attacks are happening, and it is from 2018 onward we have seen 173% rise in railway cyber attack only on the operational environment. And again it recovering from these attacks are creating a huge financial losses to major railway and public transport operators. So what has happened here is attackers know that the systems that has been deployed in railways are very easy to penetrate, and it creates a vulnerable situation to most of the metro organizations and the railway systems in the country. So again, this is 2021, we have seen new OT attacks happening on the OT environment. So if you see that in February, in April, there were attacks which has happened, and these are the publicly available information. Recovering from cyber attack is a very huge task to but first of all see the discovery, investigation, containment, and recovery. So in 2018, this is just a figure publicly available, $13 million loss only on the OT environment, if we talk about a huge loss. And we have seen that railways is evolving. We have seen that wireless communication, I think there was a discussion that was happening in the last session that we would be using the LTE network, and definitely this is again one more attack vector. Advanced services, we are using Wi-Fi, CCTV, remote monitoring, railway IoT devices. If we talk about digitalization, we are using a train control system, automatic train operation, but those systems are designed to be safe, not secured. A very important point to make. So how this just one use case I'm talking about, if attacker gets if first of all, if the convergence between OT and IT environment is reducing, it creates a penetration, a movement from the control command center to different field elements. So if we talk about the trackside devices, if we talk about the train-borne system, if we talk about the control system, everything can get compromised, and this is how the attacks happen. Okay. If we talk about the regulations in the railway cyber security, let's start from Europe. What has happened here is, CENELEC, which is a very important, organization driving the different railway regulations. If you talk about, how the systems would be deployed in the railway environment, they understood that, railway systems are not secured. Because of that reason, they have come up with new regulation, which is TS 50701, which is going to be published next month, which talks about the railway cyber security, and it is based on the framework of IEC 62443, which is already used to secure the operational environment across the globe. So if a train is going from Netherlands to London, it will encounter different ETCS level system, different telecom systems, and definitely it creates more vulnerable situation because of that. And since it's a standard regulation, it should be followed across the Europe. This would be a mandatory requirement that has to be followed. Australia, it's a very important use case because they have a fear of getting attacked from Chinese on a day-to-day basis. Because of that reason, they actually made their own regulation talking about the railway cyber security for rolling stock for train control system, and they are securing through that. US is using NIST framework, and they do regular cyber security audits across the railway industry, which is pretty much lacking in India. There is no awareness about the audits on the cybersecurity side for the operational environment. If we talk about India, yes, we have done a good job, upgrading the national cybersecurity strategy from 2013 to 2020, which talks about, securing the critical urban and critical infrastructure, in which railway is also a part. And then there were a lot of initiatives that has been taken care related to to do the robustification of the IT side of the railways. But definitely we are not pretty much we have yet to go towards the operational side. Because if we talk about metro part, if we talk about the urban part, there is a metro rail policy 2017 which has not been upgraded. And I'm just making a point that there are various systems, operational systems, metro systems, which those systems are pretty much compromised. Okay, and the operators doesn't have information about that. It's a very sad point about the country. But there is a huge push and upgradation of these regulations related to the metro and the railway side is required, and we have to push talk about this now. Okay, and definitely we need to understand that IT security, OT security is very different from railway OT security. If we talk about the OT, I'm pretty much repeating. Railway OT is nothing but railway operational technology, which is basically our safety critical network. If we talk about different OEMs present in this ecosystem, they bring their own proprietary and unique protocols. So if I'm using a mainline technology, Siemens would bring its own unique protocol. Alstom will bring its own unique protocol. If I'm using the metro technology, they will bring their own protocols here as well. And because every OEM is bringing their own proprietary protocol, we know that in India, in our current operational environment, we are using legacy systems. We are deploying the new systems as well. So it brings more complexity, because you have to secure your old infrastructure, you have to protect your new infrastructure as well. And definitely we know that it's a multi-vendor environment, and train are the moving targets. Okay, a running train is a moving target, and it takes like less than 18 minutes to hack a train. And since we are moving towards unmanned train operation, unattended train operation, or driverless train operation, imagine a situation if those train gets hacked. So this is pretty much important. We need to understand the consequences, how it would be. And it's since we have to we have to see the timings as well, I'm just trying to make an impression that we say that if I have implemented a firewall in my network, I'm secured. But this is kind of a myth. Okay, because these IT related firewalls or DMZs will only give you 5 to 10% coverage. We need to have a railway specific cyber security kind of a system, a network monitoring system that can give you a complete coverage. And this is a very important point to make, because we have seen that securing railway systems is pretty much difficult, because systems are designed to be safe but not secured. And there is a lack of visibility on assets, infrastructure. We haven't talked we are not talking about securing the IT and the OT side related to providing a holistic intrusion detection system to the environment. So with that, I would like to talk about the company that I am working for, Cylus. It's a so it's based in Tel Aviv, Israel. We know that Israel is a world leader in cybersecurity. Okay, and it's a rail-specific cybersecurity company. We have 21 plus patents only in the railway side of cybersecurity. And if we talk about industry recognition, we have been working in various working groups in Europe, in US, in Australia to make robust cybersecurity across the globe. And if you talk about, we have been recognized for our efforts in the industry. Different security awards have been won. And if you require any kind of detail related to the railway cyber security, feel free to contact me. I think the organizers can give you my email ID to get in touch with me directly. With that, I would like to end, and I think I'm good with the timing part as well. So thank you so much on for giving me opportunity on this. Do you?
Thank you so much, Ashish sir, for giving your valuable time and the very informative presentation and the information. Thank you so much for joining us. So
Thank you.
now,